The following is a special presentation of Extreme eSpeed TV, your new home for everything iRacing and eSpeed.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family-owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
This is the premier podcast for late model dirt track racing. This is Forward Bite, hosted by superfan and actual know-it-all Kyle Armstrong on the Speed Sport Podcast Network.
Welcome back to another edition of the Forward Bite Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Armstrong.
When it comes to keeping your home cool and comfortable, Evans Air Conditioning knows there's no room for compromise. That's why we've been your trusted HVAC and indoor air quality specialists since 2002.
Thank you for calling Evans Air Conditioning.
With straightforward pricing and free system replacement quotes, our licensed and insured technicians will keep you cool and comfortable. Schedule now for Evans' $59 summer tune-up. Evans, getting you the comfort you deserve.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Lanier Speedway, as it is the season finale of the Extreme eSpeed TV Pro Late Model Dirt Series. I am Travis Pearsall, joined by, as always, with Adam Johnson, and we close out on our 2024 season here at Lanier tonight. A champion was crowned last week as Dylan Perry picked up another championship here in the series. But now it's all just ending the season on a high note, as right now we've got 13 cars unloaded, ready to close out this season with a win. And Adam, what a fun season it's been, but all good things must come to an end, just like the 2024 season tonight.
Yeah, man, you're right. There's so much to just kind of look back and be, thankful we got to watch together here on Extreme eSpeed TV. And, the season finale, the Blue Gray 100, those boys, they're going to put on a show tonight, and we won't be back until February. Schedule is something we're going to talk about in a little bit, but yeah, it was a heck of a run by Dylan Perry. It was kind of a fun, unique season. There were kind of different kinds of breaks in the action than we've seen in this series history. It gave us really time to miss the series, but also when they were back and they were running, whether it was back-to-back nights or a 2 or 3 weekends out of the month, it was just incredible to see these drivers' perseverance. And you never knew kind of who was going to show up, and that's kind of what makes it fun. Tonight you mentioned we got 13 drivers as of right now. John Hine looks to be back in the mix. Love to see that. We got Cody Early back from vacation, so there's just drivers that and we've seen some rookies too. I mean, there's so many things when you really look back on kind of the game log, I guess you could say, the final results from each of these races. You really are like, man, a lot has changed, but we also want to look forward to the future, right? And we did have a breaking news on the Pro Late Model Dirt Series Facebook page about the schedule coming out, and so we want to share that with you right now, and it's on your screen now. And I'll tell you what, when the press release went live about 8 hours ago on the Facebook page, I was excited because there's a lot coming for 2025. It's going to enter its 6th season, so it's got an action-packed calendar, as you can see there. 21 events over 2 seasons, right? You've got the spring and the fall nationals, and there'll be points and non-points races, a revamped point system, the introduction of, as you see, the spring and fall nationals format. So just some ones to really look at. There's some historic tracks. There's ones that are just so familiar to this series, and obviously if you want to learn more about kind of the point system, the non-points open to all events, if you're interested in joining the series, they are accepting applications right now at the Pro Late Model Dirt Series Facebook page for 2025. So check it out. Obviously, some of these are subject to change. Things come up, but these are kind of the first look at the hard dates of what's going to be 21 really fun races next season.
When you see some changes there, as we'll kick off the season at Lernerville. Normally we're at Volusia for that, but we'll open up a week earlier there at Lernerville. And then, as you see, some non-points races open to all. So always interest of people joining the league. This gives you an opportunity to tip your toe, race against and challenge some of these season week or weekly series drivers that we have here in the Pro Late Model Dirt Series. So plenty of fun coming up in 2025. I know I'm already looking for that. Mark your calendars, of course, all the races next year right here on Extreme eSpeed TV. As we've got cars out on the track here for warm-ups, we'll throw up the standings here from that time practice laps here in a moment. John Hine atop, as you mentioned, Adam, back into the series after some events off. Josh Van Westen, second fastest, third fastest, Dawson Lowe, Aiden Young, fourth, Brandon Bender, fifth fastest here during this practice session. And coming up next, though, we've got the Houston Guttering time trials, as always, getting us set for those carrier heat races and kicking off our night of racing here at Lanier. And there's those times from that practice session over to your left. And Adam, we're about a minute away from Houston Guttering time trials.
We are, and I do want to give that love to John Hine. My goodness, it's not something that we've seen him. We haven't seen him a lot lately this season, but when he appears, it's almost like he's been putting in the time in the rig, right? Because he is looking quick out there right now. And Dylan Perry, he's going to have something to say. Not the fastest time in practice, but he might be saving it for the main event and for each of the viewers watching on Extreme eSpeed TV. But Josh Van Westen, another one we've been able to get a good look at of late. So about half a minute remaining in practice. Doesn't look like we'll get any more drivers running laps out there, but yeah, want to know that we appreciate each of you tuning in all races this season. If this is your first one or one of many, it's been a great year, and you'll be hearing from us obviously next year, and you'll be keeping up on the Facebook page. Cody's done a great job just with everything in this series, keeping the drivers kind of not only kept up to date, but inviting new drivers, right? And so if you know of any, if you're listening, if you're interested, be sure to check out our Facebook page. If you know someone who might be interested, please give them a shout. This is a series that's grown so much over the last 5 years, and entering that sixth season, we've got big goals. We're looking to see if Dylan Perry's going to come back and try to repeat, but for right now, we have one more to go. A lot of talk of the future still to go, but for now, we are beginning Houston Guttering time trials, and we'll see who's coming out there first.
So 13 cars here unloaded tonight as Houston Guttering time trials about to get underway. And as mentioned, there's that Hine out there on the track. So he'll be a part of this first group. It looks like Aiden Young's right there behind him. And then Brandon Combs, of course, in that 28 machine. He's been fast all season long. It's been really fun. I think he started the year, Adam, as a part-time driver this season, but he's ran so well that it turned into a full-time gig pretty quickly.
Yeah, winning fixes everything and gets you motivated to be out there more. Speaking of motivation, it's good to see the St. Louis man himself, John Hine, out there with Bass Pro Shops, Extreme eSpeed TV, and Gambler Motorsports. Of course, John, that Rocket XR1 chassis and Durham race engine.
Of course, a very fast Lanier National Speedway here as Aiden Young's also on the track out in that 69 from Dalton, New Hampshire. Young Gun Creations, the Firm Yard Sir. Gambler Motorsports in that Longhorn chassis RPM racing engine. John Hine, 1329. Aiden Young right behind him, a 1348.
Yeah, look at them running pretty strong right now. A little bit of sunshine in your eyes as you come off that turn there, and it's going to spread out. It's going to be a fast track, obviously. If we can keep those, around the 14-second mark, and it doesn't look like we'll get a change in the stands. You see Hine and Aiden Young both pull off. We'll wait and see now who's hopping up next. It looks to be the 28 of Brandon Combs, one of our OG drivers. We love to mention it each time because it's pretty dang cool. From Cincinnati, Ohio. Super Dirt Car Series, Chip Bangers Racing, B&B Custom Baits, Combs Cuts. Also has Extreme eSpeed TV, and we'll see what he can do. Also, looks like Josh Van Westen is out there as well. Josh joining us from Harrisburg, South Dakota with FRC Motorsports and that FCR chassis and engine as well.
So very quickly, 4 cars here on the track, ready to go. Brandon Combs, third fastest, a 1371 his first lap. Brandon Combs, fourth fastest, as Van Westen will move up into third, a 1351. And there's Combs up to second with a 1337. Van Westen will complete his lap. He will improve a 1342, so very tight. You see 13 hundredths of a second there, separating the top 4, the first 4 of the night, as preparing to come out next includes that 3-car of the director, Cody Early from Greenville, Tennessee, Bass Pro Shops, Schaefer's Racing Oil, Hoosier Racing Tires, Oakley Sunglasses, Bowman Designs, and of course Hooters on the side of that 3 machine.
Also out there, the rookie 116 of Dawson Lowe from Knoxville, Tennessee, with Integra shocks and Bruce Built Performance, that BMF race car and Eagle Racing engine. Been fun to watch him. He's been a factor as he bumps up to 4th with a 13.4 flat. Cody Early puts down a 13.92, so 6 up, 6 almost down, as Early might try and improve his number there. He takes a wide slide.
So 6 complete. It is Hine, Combs, Young, Lowe, and Van Westen, your top 5. Coming out next is that Brandon Bender machine, that 22 from Minford, Ohio, B&B Baits. Combs cuts on that Rocket XR1 chassis. There's also the 224 of Tyler Benefield is out there on the track from Hanceville, Alabama. Dylan Perry Racing, Foskey Illustrations, Race Rapid Graphics, Huffman Tire, and Chip Banger Racing.
And Colin Boyles getting the first look at him on the track right now. Joining us, as always, from Decatur, Illinois, with that Trimby & Sons Concrete. Building Systems of Illinois, Rich DPC, Vortex Wraps, with that Longhorn chassis and Vilkill Racing engine. He puts down a 13.71, squeezes between Benefield and Early. But Hines, still your fastest time so far with that 13.29.
And there's that 22 machine of Brandon Bender getting set to roll out next as he will exit the pits. He'll be the 9th of 13 to make their Houston Guttering Time Trials lap. Also on the track is that 64 of Kendrick Hicks. A great season so far for Kendrick, as he'll pull off of there and wait his turn, as it looks like Brandon Bender completes his timed laps.
Yeah, and Hicks starting to get out there, joining us from, as a rookie, Willard, Kentucky, with Econocool, Shane Bailey Racing, Bernie Racing Solutions, Michael Box Photography, and AC Custom Graphics. And 9 official times on the board, about to get number 10, as Bender slides up to 13.41, good enough for a top 5. And then Hicks hopping in there with a 13.5 flat. So 10 complete. Looks like 3 to go. Lassiter, Brandon Marlowe, and our champion, Dylan Perry.
So 10 up here in Houston Guttering Time Trials. Of course, this setting the field for those carrier heat races coming up here next, along with our Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. As it looks like it's going to be that 51 of Jacob Lassiter next, one of our OG drivers. He's also a winner in the series from Dresden, Tennessee, Team Hot Lap Heroes, Larson Logistics, Crow Trucking, and Tintec. That's a Rayburn race car with a custom race engine.
And the man who needs no introduction, Dylan Perry, back-to-back-to-back defending champ, heading out there from Ringgold, Georgia. Evans Air Conditioning and Extreme eSpeed TV prominently shown there. And looks like we got a little bit more movement. Perry jumps to the top in front of John Hines, so you knew the speed was coming. You didn't know if it'd be early or late, but here it is.
As Perry and Lassiter of this group will split John Hine here, as Perry by 3/100ths of a second will take over that top spot. Just behind John Hine will be Jacob Lassiter, moving up into that 3rd spot. And there's one man remaining. It's going to be the 37 of Brandon Marlowe from Benton, Missouri. Hot Lap Heroes Racing, Tintec Seamless Guttering, and Crow Trucking on that Capital Race Car custom race engine. And he will try to unseat our series champion, Dylan Perry, for the fast time here in Houston Guttering Time Trials. Oh, and second fastest in his first time lap. It is Brandon Marlowe looking to improve here. See if he can take that top spot. He'll slide through turn number 4. And he will not improve. He will stay second fastest. So that will give Dylan Perry our quick time here at Lanier. And he will end the season with a Houston Guttering Time Trials trophy here from Lanier to close out the season. And we will prepare for those carrier heat races coming up next.
That's right. Carrier heat races will begin here shortly on Extreme eSpeed TV. So a little bit of drama there at the end. The last 3 drivers took really 3 of the top 5 spots. Perry, Marlowe, and Lassiter, first, second, and fourth. So we're still just awaiting the starting lineup for the carrier heat races. Most likely a couple. And here we go with our lineup. Looks like it'll be Dylan Perry and Jacob Lassiter on the front row. Second row will be Dawson Lowe and Tyler Benefield, with Cody early rounding out the rear.
So 8 laps will make up carrier heat race number 1.
Yep, and we'll have 8 laps in these heat races, and I love the shine that's coming off that 7 machine there with Evans on the back corner panel of Dylan Perry. A couple long-time drivers in this series between Perry and Lassiter, starting 1-2. Of course, the man behind the plan, Cody Early, starting 5th right now. So a lot of well-known names of this series, and some up-and-coming stars in Dawson Lowe and Tyler Benefield about to go green, as it looks like the pace vehicle should pull off here in a moment.
So Dylan Perry, Jacob Lassiter will take us to green here, as this will set the field. Should be the pole for our 100-lap feature tonight. Green flag waves. Dylan Perry, Jacob Lassiter take us off into turn number 1.
Good start there for Dylan Perry, but Jacob Lassiter trying to keep right on the inside and using a little bit of that dirty air. It looks to be he's sliding off, and a little bit behind him will be Lowe. Still a strong hold there for Dylan Perry, and getting a little bit of space between he and Lassiter, but Lassiter tries to make it up as he dives low.
So Dylan Perry leads here with 5 laps to go. Lassiter right in his tracks in that second spot. Behind them, that's where the battle really is for that third position. It's Benefield and Dawson Lowe trading that third spot back and forth. As out front, Lassiter continues to try to chase down Dylan Perry. White flag coming out of turn number 4 for Dylan Perry. Fastest in Houston Guttering Time Trials. He's the series champion in 2024. And looking to continue his strong evening here in North Georgia, as he will pick up carrier heat race number 1 victory. Second, Jacob Lassiter, Dawson Lowe third, Tyler Bennerfield fourth, and Cody early in fifth.
Pure dominance there, and we'll get set now for carrier heat race number 2. And carrier heat race number 2 will be led by the Brandons of Brandon Marlowe and Brandon Combs, and the third Brandon Bender, with the black sheep, Kendrick Hicks.
So Marlowe Combs on that front row, ready to take us to green. Green flag waves, carrier heat race underway, back at racing at Lanier.
Marlowe, as you remember, the last driver to get qualifying laps out there, and when he did, boy, did he put up some speed as he was able to get, I believe, the second fastest time. The reason he's starting this carrier heat race, and he's really kind of owning that middle lane. He takes the high side and kind of keeping just a car length ahead of Bender until you get right about there. But the grip he has is able to get him to take away. But they're staying pretty close as Bender, he's finding some sort of grip right now. He's not really losing, but also not gaining quite yet.
We saw this last week as well. If you got that preferred line, it really put the pressure on the others to make something happen in maybe a weaker line, and that's what it looks like right now as Brandon Bender's now under attack by Combs and Hicks. Almost 3 wide for second. Oh, contact there. Hicks gets into the wall slightly. They'll keep it going the right way. Hicks will get into that third spot. The big winner is going to be Brandon Combs in that black 28. He's going to move into second now behind Brandon Marlowe with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, none of that damage should really affect us when we get to the main event, but you got to think, Bender, he had something really going there, and a little frustrating, but rather have it here than in the main event.
So Marlowe using that middle lane, the preferred line, able to hold out. He's separated from Combs slightly there. Combs trying to track it down as that contact has separated the rest of the field back to Hicks and Bender. As Bender going even lower now, trying to regain that third position. As the final lap in carrier heat race number 2 underway, Brandon Marlowe out front through 3 and 4 for the final time. And Brandon Marlowe will win carrier heat race number 2. Hicks will get third, Brandon Combs second, Brandon Bender in fourth. And with that, we'll prepare for our third and final carrier heat race.
And carrier heat race number 3 will be led by John Hine. Good to have him back side by side with Aiden Young. And behind them, Josh Van Westen and Colin Boyles.
John Hine, Aiden Young, green flag waves, carrier heat race number 3 underway.
I mean, Aiden Young gets a little bit squirrely back there. Falls to 4th. John Hine, some good separation between he and Josh Van Westen. Van Westen in the sights, at least, of John Hine. Also the same distance, really, between Van Westen and Voiles, too.
It's 5 laps to go. John Hine continues to lead, and it's that middle lane that is taking him to the lead here as of now. Van Westen riding along in that 2nd spot. Colin Voiles 3rd. Aiden Young back in 4th. As passing at a premium here to start the night, Adam. So it'll be interesting to see once we get all 13 cars on the track. And then, of course, 100 laps around this bull ring of Lanier.
Yeah, we are just getting started here in what's going to be full night of action as the sun slowly setting. Still got the sunlight in the eyes for some of these drivers, but you're getting a look here as we are just under 2 laps remaining. John Hine will take the white flag in carrier heat race number 3, and we are 1 to go.
John Hine, the winner in carrier heat race number 3. Colin Voiles 2nd. Van Westen 3rd. Aiden Young in 4th. As our carrier heat races will come to a close, that should move us on to our warm-up session here, as we will have warm-ups and then move on to our Blue-Gray 100 here from Lanier. With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have pre-race look at tonight's season finale from Lanier, 100 laps, Blue-Gray 100. You're watching the Extreme eSpeed TV Pro Late Model Dirt Series right here on Extreme eSpeed TV.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
This is the premier podcast for late model dirt track racing. This is Forward Bite, hosted by superfan and actual know-it-all Kyle Armstrong on the Speed Sport Podcast Network.
Welcome back to another edition of the Forward Bite Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Armstrong.
When it comes to keeping your home cool and comfortable, Evans Air Conditioning knows there's no room for compromise. That's why we've been your trusted HVAC and indoor air quality specialists since 2002.
Thank you for calling Evans Air Conditioning.
With straightforward pricing and free system replacement quotes, our licensed and insured technicians will keep you cool and comfortable. Schedule now for Evans' $59 summer tune-up. Evans, getting you the comfort you deserve.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
When it comes to keeping your home cool and comfortable, Evans Air Conditioning knows there's no room for compromise. That's why we've been your trusted HVAC and indoor air quality specialists since 2002.
Thank you for calling Evans Air Conditioning.
With straightforward pricing and free system replacement quotes, our licensed and insured technicians will keep you cool and comfortable. Schedule now for Evans' $59 summer tune-up. Evans, getting you the comfort you deserve.
Welcome back to Lanier National Speedway as we prepare for tonight's Blue Gray 100 here from Lanier. Season finale is that front row will be Dylan Perry and Brandon Marlowe and Adam. I'm expecting some good, hard, clean racing here for 100 laps to end this great season.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a lot of guys just, put it all on the line tonight. It's 100 laps, so you're going to have tire wear. You're going to, as we often see with these 100-lap races, you're going to see guys who are kind of laying back to start. You'll see ones that push in the middle of the race, some that just wait till the very end to give it their best shot, and and live and hope and pray for either cautions to happen or not to happen. So I love races like this because you get to see so many of the different strategies. Not to say it's not fun when we have the 50 laps or less, because then you got to kind of be full go the whole time. So it's going to be fun. You see the fans are continuing to trickle in right now, and it'll be Dylan Perry on the pole, and it looks like we now are just about ready to grid and get you your starting lineup here as they continue to get out there on the track. There is our starting lineup. It'll be Dylan Perry. It's only right that he starts up top, side by side with Brandon Marlowe. Row 2 will be John Hine and Jacob Lassiter. Row 3, Brandon Combs and Colin Boyles. Row 4, Dawson Lowe and Kendrick Hicks. Row 5, Josh Van Westen and Tyler Benefield. Row 6, Brandon Bender and Aiden Young, with Cody Early rounding out the rear. And as they head out there, pace car will pull off, and we are green for the final race of the 2024 season.
So 100 laps around Lanier. Dylan Perry will jump out front. You got Marlowe and Hine side by side there as it's Combs and Lassiter behind him. Great racing throughout. You see Dawson Lowe down there to the inside of Hicks and Colin Boyles out there as well, as they're 3 wide up ahead with Combs, Hine, and Lassiter. As Marlowe will make a move for the lead, Perry will battle back on the inside.
Fireworks early in a race that's sure to be full of action just like this, so we're getting a good look, and the cars are starting to settle in now.
Perry holding on. He's that middle lane. He's got Marlowe there now. Looking to the inside is 4 laps in here. As they are side by side at the line, very quickly counting down the laps here, as we have 6 laps in. Marlowe is continuing to do battle up front, trying to get that spot from Perry as they're side by side at the line again, now 7 laps in.
Some great racing right now as they're staying pretty clean. Dylan Perry, Brandon Marlowe still pushing back and forth, and as I say still, I imagine this is going to be how it is for a lot of the night. Dylan Perry with no reason to push hard. Really none of the reasons right now for these drivers to give it their all, as they are basically neck and neck at the line. You see Marlowe with the slight edge for the moment at least, but not a lot of movement. The only one is really John Hine down a couple spots, as well as Colin Voiles. Perry and Marlowe flip-flop once again, and behind them Lassiter just also keeping pace with them, so doing his best.
So plenty of action down through the field here. Is a dozen laps in here clean from the start here. Good clean racing here as we see Van Westen. He's riding in that 9th spot. Brandon Bender back in 12th. He's looking to the inside of Cody Early. As Dylan Perry, Marlowe still battling. Lassiter watching from that 3rd position as he'll look up ahead at the 2 battling for the lead. And Adam, very quickly here, this small track 14 laps in, we're getting to the point where those leaders are starting to gain on Aiden Young, who is in the 13th position. He's at the exit of the corner there as they're entering. So great racing up front will continue as both push here hard 15 laps in.
Yeah, and it's the type of, size of the field, I guess you could say, where there's a lot of room to work around, a lot of room to play and kind of try new things. And even if it's not new things, just do your things more comfortably, right? You have a little more wiggle room, quite literally. And so eager to see what happens here. Is it may be a Marlowe-Perry battle, but there is a lot of action taking place right now in the middle, but not a lot of changes. I guess your hard charger would be, Cody Early up 3 spots. He's sitting in 10th at the moment, so a lot to look forward to as we are, approaching that 20% of the way through with 18 up and almost down.
So Dylan Perry's been able to hold off Brandon Marlowe here almost to lap number 20. Good battle back here in the pack as Cody Early held off Brandon Bender. Now he's holding off Tyler Benefield there. As Cody Early holds on to a top 10 spot here, 1/5 of the way through this one.
I wonder if we can maybe get an in-car camera at some point for one of these and kind of get a look of just the sunlight hitting them. Yeah, it was a great moment. You'll see when he makes his way back around, you'll notice that sunlight, it hits you at a certain portion right about there. So as it sets, it'll only get a little more intense and eventually it'll fade away. But that's not easy for some of these drivers, especially when you've got guys on your outside. And when we do go as far as 3, maybe even 3.5 wide, you really got to just kind of trust the guys around you to be on their game as well.
So as we rode along with Jacob Lassiter, he moved by Brandon Marlowe, took over that 2nd position now as he's trying to track down the P7 of Dylan Perry up ahead. Caution flag comes out. It looks like it's for Josh Van Westen. Ooh, plenty of damage on that 21 machine.
And that wheel is wiggling. Not sure if we'll have another one that comes off. Kind of a running tally we've been keeping this season, but for the moment it's still on there.
So first caution of the night comes out. It's still Dylan Perry up front. We almost made it a quarter of the way green with this one, Adam, here. As you can see that track really starting to wear in here. Still 76 laps to go in this one, so plenty of racing left. Green flag waves. Lassiter looking to the inside of Dylan Perry there as it's Marlowe and Combs. They're battling for the third position. Dylan Perry's led this one for a majority of the way, but he's been under attack between Lassiter and Marlowe almost every lap of the way thus far, as he's able to hold on. Lassiter right in his tire tracks, though. So 30 laps into this one, Dylan Perry still holding off Jacob Lassiter out front. Back in the field, plenty of action. Cody Early up into the 7th position here. Good run for him tonight, as now he's got John Hine up in front of him. As we'll go through the field, as Dylan Perry, your leader, under attack by Jacob Lassiter. Lassiter up 2 spots, now 3 spots if he's able to hold on to that lead, and he will lead that lap.
Yeah, and just because Brandon Marlowe's down 3 spots, down to 5th, I don't think we've seen the last of him in a podium finish battle, if not, the win itself. So, yeah, Dylan Perry, we've seen this kind of episode time and time again where he's going to stay pace. If you give him the door to take the lead, he'll take it. He'll run with the lead. But it's not pedal to the metal time just quite yet for really any of these drivers, but Dylan Perry specifically. So this is a night where they can knock off the champ. They may not, claim the final victory in championship, but man, it'd be a nice way to go out on top on a podium. So these guys, you can tell they're racing hard, 13 cars deep, and we've seen bigger fields, we've seen smaller ones, but this is a really fun one we've got here tonight.
See Brandon Bender and Colin Voiles doing battle there. That is for the 8th position. Out front, Jacob Lassiter able to separate. Times have fallen at least half a second. It's really more 6 to 7 tenths they've fallen off here, 36 laps into this one. And then reminder, we're going 100 laps here tonight too, so you do get to the point, some guys looking to save their tires to make a move later in this race. We'll see how it pays off. That might be something maybe Brandon Marlowe's doing, letting some of these other cars that are pushing a little bit harder right now, let them by. But back to our director, Cody Early. Right now, he is our butt kicker. Hard charger, up 6 spots. 13th, started at the rear, now up to 7th.
Yeah, and a little biased there, but when Cody Early picks out these schedules and kind of builds them, he picks ones that he loves and he knows there's a lot of history at. So it's always cool to see him kind of perform well as well at these tracks with some really good talent here in the series. And if you missed kind of from the open of the show on the Pro Late Model Dirt Series Facebook page, you can see the 2025 schedule, and you'll also see a link on that post to kind of join the league if you're interested. Throw your name out there, sign up. Race director Cody Early, when he's not moving up the field, he'll take some time to talk to you and connect and see if you'd be a great fit for this series, which I know a lot of rookies this season have made a heck of an impact on the standings, and you see them battling hard right now. You're getting the look right there at the 116 of Dawson Lowe. You got a couple others, Josh Van Weston flip-flopping with Brandon Bender for that 10th and 11th spot. So we'd love to have you here in this series. We love the interest. We love that we're entering the 6th year, and it's only going to get bigger and better. So check out that Facebook page, and also, if you're not going to be racing, tune in next year as well on Extreme eSpeed TV.
So battles throughout the field still occurring here on lap number 44. This is Kendrick Hicks. Josh Van Weston, that's battling for that 9th position, as Hicks will slide up across the nose of that 21 into that 9th spot. Lassiter's got 0.8 of a second lead as Dylan Perry under attack by Brandon Combs. two drivers that have battled a significant amount of time this season, both getting the better of each other at times.
As we are now just a few laps away from being at the halfway point of this one. Dylan Perry got Brandon Marlowe, so even if they're not number 1 and 2 on the track, they are continuing to stay next to one another. So second caution comes out just now.
Looks like the 224 Brandon Benefield possibly lost the right front tire there. Yep, that is exactly the case there. And as we get closer to that halfway mark, and speaking of being halfway there, appreciate Joey from Memphis tuning in tonight. Always appreciate the support of all our fans that tune in each and every event here on the Pro Late Model Dirt Series schedule. And speaking of that schedule, Adam, let's take a look at that 2025 schedule for next year.
Yeah, and we kind of opened the show with it, and it's going to be a little different. We've got the Spring Nationals and Fall Nationals, so some familiar tracks, some ones that are at different points in the calendar, and obviously there's going to be an enhanced point system, so there'll be two exciting new formats. The regular point system will now offer closer points totals across the field, making each race even more crucial, and the new Crown Jewel point system will reward drivers competing in premier Crown Jewel events with the additional points, highlighting that significance of these high-profile races for this series. And of course, the non-points open to all events. So in addition to the points races, the series is going to host 6 non-points open events throughout the season. These events, it'll have just a $2 entry fee, and it'll provide the drivers with the opportunity to compete against series regular and potentially earn a spot on the main tour. So that's something to look out for. And of course, the points fund, there'll be an announcement for that in the upcoming season at a later date, ensuring the drivers will have all the incentive to perform at their best throughout the season. So thanks to Cody for putting all of that together, and we're excited because we're kind of learning with you, the viewer, and the interested racer as these updates come about. So thanks to Cody for being so good at communicating all that with us, and we'll be anxiously keeping our eyes glued to the Pro Late Model Dirt Series iRacing Facebook page this offseason.
You'll see it'll be over a year before we return here to Lanier National Speedway. On November 4th, we'll have a non-points event open to all, and then that next night, a Crown Jewel event coming to Lanier next year. But with that, we're ready to go back to racing action. As up front, it's Jacob Lassiter and Brandon Combs. Working lap number 49, green flag back at Lanier.
And it's another strong start there for Jacob Lassiter with a couple of Brandon Combs and Marlowe behind him. Interesting to see where Dylan Perry has fallen to the 11th spot. So he's a ways back there, but I've got a pretty good feeling he'll be climbing his way back up in no time.
Great racing throughout. Look at this clobber of cars here back in the pack. See John Hines going to come out ahead. He's going to be in that 5th position when it all sorts out. Dawson Lowe up on that outside line. He's going to look around that outside of Marlowe as Dylan Perry made a pit stop that last caution. He's back in the 12th spot. So he's going to have to make his way back through this field as Lowe and Marlowe continue to battle for 3rd.
Yeah, and I don't have a dog in this fight, but I'll tell you what, you can hear some of the fans outside of our booth just barking. A couple Cleveland Brown fans made the trip out here. That's pretty cool, but yeah, it's getting a little dirty. You see a lot of dirt in the air right now, not too slick in the sense of keeping that dirt on the ground, so a lot flying up right now. None of these cars look as clean and white as when they started, so we're past that halfway point, and you can see and feel some of that intensity slowly picking up.
So this is from 5th on back there. You can see it is a train of cars as Brandon Bender will look down to the inside there. But plenty of racing action here, trying to pick up some positions on those restarts. But out front, it's that 51 of Jacob Lassiter, able to hold on. He's got Brandon Combs about a half second behind him now. And low back into that third spot as it is getting wild as a pack of gorillas out here on the track.
Less than 40 laps remaining in this one, and it is getting stupid in here tonight. It is a lot of family fun taking place. Ooh, look at that. Gliding on the outside. A lot of people taking the outside lane. But John Hine forging his way to a top 5. You saw how quick he was in practice. Oh, man, the speed there from Colin Boyles almost got into the back of Cody Early. Gets a little wiggly there in 64 machine behind him. Kendrick Hicks trying to make a pass.
Well, you can see Dylan Perry down there on the low side. We mentioned how he restarted in 12th. He's made his way up to 9th now, but it's been a few laps. So the moving up through this field on this tight racing of Lanier, not as easy as you may want it to be at this point, but out front making it look easy is that 51 of Lassiter, as he is about to complete lap number 65.
.67 laps just about complete here as Lassiter and Combs both up 3 spots from where they started, but Cody Early once again continuing to move up 8 spots in that 5th position right now.
So Jacob Lassiter continues to lead, less than 30 laps to go. Combs up into 2nd. Dylan Perry still back in 10th. Marlowe in 3rd. Lawson 4th. Cody Early has entered. Oh, and Hicks right behind him goes around. It looked like John Hine got into the back of him as we saw that one happen live.
Oh, and there's the caution, and our 3rd one of the night. So you'll see that 64 machine of Kendrick Hicks pulling into the pits. We'll see if it's a speedy repair, and it looks like he's speeding on out of there to get back to the action.
So we're down to about 26 laps to go.
And we are back to green flag racing. A little bit of bumping and banging there as we are about 3/4 of the way complete. And oh man, it's just, you can hear the sheet metal from up in our booth just slapping right now.
4 wide back in the pack. Benefield Bender was a part of that. Colin Voiles to the outside. Ooh, Cody Wall slightly slaps that concrete wall. And Dylan Perry able to make some moves on that restart. 25 laps to go. He's now up into 4th. He's got Dawson Lowe in 3rd, Brandon Marlowe 2nd, Jacob Lassiter in 1st. 24 laps to go this time by. So Lassiter holding onto that lead. Behind him, though, Aiden Young using that inside line. A good run for Aiden. He's actually in our Buttkicker Hard Charger award position right now, up 9 spots from 12th to 3rd, as he is holding off Dylan Perry, Dawson Lowe, with Marlowe to his outside. So Aiden Young able to grab that second position. Marlowe, Perry, and Lowe now battling for 3rd. Brandon Combs enters that picture as well. So 6 cars up front here, all in position to grab a win here in this Blue-Gray 100. 17 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, and watch out. Dylan Perry finding his way all the way up to 3rd, bounces back out to 4th. But you got to think, can a guy like Jacob Lassiter, Aiden Young, with 17 laps to go, can they hold this spot knowing fresher tires, motivation from Dylan Perry is breathing down their neck right now? We're going to find out. We were actually just talking recently how we're overdue to see Aiden Young on the podium, so can he hold on? There's still a long 15 laps and change to go. So we are about to find out. As our 4th caution comes out, we'll have to see what this one is for.
Looks like Josh Van West in that 21 machine, not the way he wanted to end his season. Thankfully, he has the off season to fix that 21 machine. But we're down to 16 laps to go. Jacob Lassiter still your leader. Aiden Young 2nd, Brandon Marlowe 3rd, Dylan Perry 4th, Dawson Lowe in 5th. So lined up 2 by 2 they will be, Lassiter and Aiden Young. Green flag waves. Good start for the 51 of Lassiter up ahead. Marlowe into third.
So it's getting to be crunch time for these boys right now. As you see, Aiden Young not easing up on Jacob Lassiter, and it was kind of exactly what Jacob Lassiter was doing to Marlowe and Perry in front of him earlier in this race, and it's been really a heck of a performance for Lassiter to stay up front for almost all of this race. And so Aiden Young technically scored as your leader for the moment. So it looks like they're going to be neck and neck for as long as possible. Dylan Perry, does he have enough juice to hunt them down? It clearly looks like he's got the speed right now, and Young still holding that position, scored as your leader. But Lassiter doing everything he can on the inside lane to take it back. 11 to go now. Aiden Young, obviously a hard charger with 11 spots gained from where he started. You've got some battling to get into that top 5, though. Brandon Marlowe 3 spots down from where he started, so he's climbing up to 4th right now, looking to get with Dylan Perry, but that is going to be a tall task as Perry himself is motivated in these final moments to get there.
So Aiden Young's come out of nowhere, up 11 spots, 9 laps to go. Adam, our first season of covering the Pro Late Model Dirt Series, he picked up a win in Volusia in the first handful of starts he had. He has not been to victory lane since, and now he's put himself in position to grab victory number 2 here in the series. 7 laps to go this time by.
That's right, Aiden Young, far too long since his last win. And if he can stay straight and if we can avoid cautions, this could be a shining light on a great season. It could be a great, I guess you could say, sunset on our season, right? And so as the sun sets here, he is 5 laps away with Lassiter and Perry doing their best, but some distance between he and Lassiter. Really the most we've seen. We're seeing that right now. 4 laps to go. We're counting down every fan in the stands right now standing at the moment. And he is clearing away if we can avoid any surprises.
So separation is the name of the game here. At this point, you have to go back to this battle for 4th between Brandon Combs and Brandon Marlowe. The tightest battle on the track right now. As out front, 2 laps to go, the 69 machine of Aiden Young. 1.5 more laps around this Lanier National Speedway. He'll come out of turn 3 and 4. White flag will wave. Aiden Young, Jacob Lassiter, Dylan Perry, your top 3. Had some ups and downs here in the Pro Late Model Dirt Series, but tonight it's going to be a good one. It's Aiden Young, your Blue-Gray 100 winner, Jacob Lassiter second, Dylan Perry in third.
I can't think of a better way to end the season with those guys. Some veterans of this series, well-deserved podium finish, ending on a high note, and I don't think, and we'll talk to him here in a moment, Dylan Perry, I don't think you'll have any complaints with that as you get a little bit of a little celebration, little wiggle there from Aiden Young, and he has every reason to celebrate right now.
A very excited driver, I am sure, in that 69 machine, as we will talk to him here in a moment, as he was able to come into Lanier and pick up the victory here to end his 2024 season. Great run for Jacob Lassiter as well. And then, of course, our series champion, Dylan Perry, coming home third. As they'll get parked there on the front stretch here at Lanier. And a great way to end our 2024 season. Get you excited right now for that 2025 season coming up next year. Kicking off, of course, February 5th. at Lernerville. And we will interview those top 3 drivers here from Lanier Victory Lane. As your winner tonight's going to be the 69 of Aiden Young.
Yeah, we'll see here in a moment if we can get Dylan Perry or Jacob Laster in the booth. I know we've got Aiden Young patiently waiting. It looks like, Travis, we've got Dylan if you want to bring him in. And we are joined now by Dylan Perry. Finished the season, his championship season, with a 3rd place finish here tonight. But Dylan, I don't think you'll have any complaints for the guy who's been finished in front of you. How are you feeling tonight?
I just kind of came in tonight. I mean, didn't really have a whole lot to lose. Finished out the last race, locking up the points. So I didn't feel like saving too much. So once the green dropped, I waited about 10 laps, and then I think me, Marlo, and Laster all kind of had the same idea. We got tired of riding around all year, so we all pushed pretty hard early. But at the end of the day, after knocking the spoiler off of it and the team getting it fixed under one of the cautions and being able to finish out top 3, I'm not going to complain any.
Yeah, not often we see you in the pits, but was that essentially kind of a necessary one to even get you up to this 3rd place finish?
Oh, absolutely. Whenever I knocked it off, went off in the next corner, and it just started skating the hole back in. So I knew I either knocked the spoiler off or I somehow cut a right rear. And after going to the next corner and down the straightaway, I knew it wasn't the cut right rear, so I knew I knocked the spoiler off and definitely needed to get that fixed, or we would have been loaded up early in the box.
Well, you've got, we've talked with you on a lot of these podiums, and, we got a little bit of time. The series schedule for next year just came out, so we have until February before this action kicks back off. But any off-season plans, any iRacing, other racing ventures you got coming up?
Mainly just real racing stuff. After tonight, now I'm just going to hit just about every race that I can and try to race most weekends or take a weekend off here and there, but try to finish off the year with some more racing and start fresh next year and just go at it full force.
Awesome. Love it. Well, before we let you go for the final time this season, we want to give you the chance to shout out those partners.
Yeah, I mean, y'all can get me a little emotional since it's the last time for the year, but just first and foremost, Andy Piercefield and his whole family. I know he's sick tonight. I wish he could be here and celebrate with us, but this one's definitely for him and his whole family that have taken me in and treated me like I was one of them. I couldn't do it without every single one of them, and I don't think I could ever thank them enough. Evans Air Conditioning, you guys over Extreme eSpeed TV, Piercefield Media Group, CBR Race Cars, Harrison Automotive, CV Used Cars and Parts, Newt's Lawn Care, MSW Construction, DPR, SHP Mafia, Coyote Media, Goat Farm Posse, FHP, Holmes Cuts, B&B Custom Baits, BPRC, all the guys there at Chip Bangers Racing that put up with having to deal with me all year round. I don't know how they do it, but I applaud them for it and just thank everybody that's helped me do what I've been able to do in the past 3 years. I couldn't do it without every single one of them, and I'm glad that y'all are able to stream everything for us so that it gets it out for more people. I just don't know what to say.
Hey, man, I think you said it best right there. So we appreciate you. We cherish each of these times we get to talk to you with a podium finish. Usually a top place finish, but 3rd is a very strong way to finish a heck of a championship season. So congrats again, Dylan, and man, we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you, and hopefully we can keep up this tradition next year.
That's Dylan Perry coming home 3rd tonight. Coming home 2nd is going to be that 51 of Jacob Lassiter. Jacob, a good battle there with Dylan. You led a majority of that middle part of the race, but just too much Aiden Young there at the end. Walk us through your finish to a 2nd place.
Oh, man, like I was telling them, I always lay back in these 100-lappers, man, and I never get a caution at the right time, or I never know when to push it. So I just decided to stay at the front tonight and see if we could hold out. And like I said, the cautions come out. I mean, Aiden was fast at the end. I mean, he was coming on. I think it saved his stuff pretty good. So I don't know if we'd have held on if we had no cautions, but would have been interesting to see if it stayed green. But hats off to him. Congrats to him, man. Maybe his 2nd win on the whole tour deal. So, that's an awesome deal for him. So.
Well, you had a great run here, Nate. Obviously, come home 2nd. What's it mean to be able to finish the season on a note like this, and then obviously look ahead to 2025?
It feels good, man. Anytime, like I said, anytime you're able to talk to the broadcasters and be on the podium, it's a good night. So, and I think we're going to end up. I think we're going to have pretty much fourth sold up in the points. So, to have a top 5 in the points again this year is awesome. And like I said, we'll try to build back better next year and come back and see if we can. I think it's like 2 seasons next year, so I think that's going to be interesting to spin on things and we'll see what we can do.
Well, as an OG driver here in the series, I guess what's your takes on as the season ages, grows, and changes over the years, and you've been able to be a part of each format that it's had in the past?
Oh man, I mean Cody puts together a heck of a league for us and does a lot of work for us, man. So whatever he gives us to run, we don't usually complain about it because I mean he gives us good stuff. So I'm gonna like the way the new season's gonna break down. I think it's interesting because you may have your fall or your spring season may not be as good as your fall season. So you never can tell, man. I think it'll be an interesting spin. I think it'll keep the car count up too, and I think it'll make the racing better.
Well, congratulations on the second place finish tonight, Jacob. Who are those people and those sponsors you want to give a shout out to for the final time here in 2024?
I don't have any sponsors anymore, man. Just Hot Lap Heroes. That team, always their support. And then Brandon was in the race tonight, and I think he's going to come home with a top 3 in the points. So awesome for him. And you guys for doing the broadcast as always. Cody for the league. Shout out to the wife as always for taking care of the little one.
Well, congratulations, Jacob. We look forward to seeing you in February. Have a good off season.
Thank you, man.
That's Jacob Lassiter, our second place finisher tonight, and now our winner from Victory Lane. Adam, you've got our winner, Aiden Young.
That's right, Aiden Young. It feels like, and at least to us, maybe to you as well, man. It's been a while since we've had you back in Victory Lane. A career win in this series. Number 2. How are you feeling, man?
Yeah, it feels awesome. I came in the night not even thinking of this. Then around 70 to go, I found myself top 3. I was like, oh, crap.
So you're right. I mean, you've had strong runs. I mean, we've seen you have plenty of top 5s, top 10s. But, I mean, what was different tonight? When did it click? What was clicking that just it worked?
I think I just saved more than everyone else and somehow just did it perfect, and it came out on top.
You did come out on top, and I guess kind of reflecting back on the season, not as many podium finishes as maybe you probably were looking for, but how do you feel about kind of your review of this season?
I feel really good. I know all things I got to work on and just try to get better.
And well, hopefully, it's a leading question, but I'm hoping we get to see you next year, I hope, right?
You will, for sure.
Awesome. Well, congrats, Aiden. Before we let you go, anyone, any partners, anything you want to shout out before we say goodnight?
I just got to thank the Farmyard Store, obviously Young Gun Creations, obviously the whole Gambling Motorsports team, obviously thinking of John. So this is for John and his family. So
awesome. Well, congrats, Aiden, man. Well deserved. Go celebrate it. You absolutely deserve it. And I can't wait to talk to you again on the podium next year.
Thank you.
So Aiden Young will pick up a win in the season finale, and joining us now in the booth is the series director. It's Cody Early. Cody, you released the schedule earlier today. Exciting things coming in 2025.
Yeah, Travis, thank you. You and Adam, I appreciate y'all all season long. This has been it's been an entertaining season. We've had a lot of good races. We've had a lot of new faces come on board and have really been pretty impressive. So, and to end it with one of the nicest guys in the series, Aiden, getting a win at a 100-lap race was pretty sweet too. I just wanted to recognize, of course, Dylan Perry, our 3-time series champion, which is just something I didn't think we would see. I really didn't after the first 3 seasons of this deal. Somebody just be able to go on a tear like that. But I also wanted to give a shout out to our AC Customs Designs Rookie of the Year, Kendrick Hicks, which we've got him in here. That's a pretty special award because this is a series where these rookies have come in here, and you guys see it week in and week out. This is not easy to go up against these guys week in and week out. And I just kind of wanted y'all to get a word with him and what he thought of going through this gauntlet for the first full season with the series.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, Cody. And Kendrick has been a name that, we didn't know a lot. Travis and I, coming into this season, obviously you bring a rookie in and we get to learn. And there, I don't think there was a race where Kendrick Hicks from whether it was the Houston Guttering Time Trials or the Carrier Heat Races, or you get a Last Chance Showdown, where he didn't come up and make moves in each of this. Kendrick, talk about your first year with the series, kind of how you got here and how you feel about how this year went.
Man, I'm tickled plumb to death to get this spot. I told a few buddies when I first joined this thing, I was like, that's what I'm gunning for. I want to be the number one rookie, and a lot of people don't set goals like that right off the bat, but I knew that I wanted to go big or go home. I knew how hard it's going to be, but Cody had messaged me at one point in time and was asking if I was interested, and I was immediately on board. And I come in here thinking that it was just going to be like really hard competitive racing, that I could, be up there in the front every week. Then I got hit with reality right real fast. Like, these guys don't mess around. And
kind of building off that, Kendrick, what was kind of a highlight for you of this season? Because I can think of a lot of moments where you had some great finishes in that. What kind of stands out to you when you look back on this season?
I have no idea. Maybe Fairbury Eldora for sure. The prelim night of Eldora would be the highlights. I didn't think that I was going to be anywhere in running at Fairbury. Then found myself sitting front row starting it and probably led maybe 25 laps, I think, before Dylan Perry passed me like I was sitting still. The Eldora race, I just kind of got lucky and was in the right spot at the right time, kept the nose clean and everything like that. So that'd probably have to be both of my highlights on this season.
Well, obviously, of the schedule release for 2025, and you may not have a chance to look at it, but one thing that was included in that announcement was an opportunity for other drivers to be like you and gun for kind of, being the best rookie in the field. So if there was kind of a message to anyone who's kind of on the fence, curious about joining the league, what message would you have for them?
For sure, take the opportunity, guys. It's something fun, and these guys in here, it don't matter if you kind of do beat and bang a little bit. They'll either talk to you about it and get back on good terms, or they'll settle it out and just it's a big family in here. So I wouldn't think twice about it. I'd join in and see what Cody thinks with everything going. It's been a blast this year for sure, and for years to come, as long as he's running, I plan on being here for sure.
Man, that's what we love to hear, Kendrick. And we just want to say congrats once again, man. You are well-deserving of this Rookie of the Year award, and I can't wait I know Travis and I can't wait to talk to you on the podium several times next year.
We hope so, for sure.
Well, with that, our 2024 Pro Late Model Dirt Series comes to a close. Of course, make sure you follow the series on Facebook for all the latest announcements and opportunities coming ahead in the upcoming season and the off season, of course, as we have plenty of racing action here presented by the Pro Late Model Dirt Series here on Extreme eSpeed TV. Thank you to all the fans who tuned in all season long. It's been a joy for Adam and I to come into your home and present some iRacing action each and every week. We will see you in 2025, and we will see you at a racetrack soon.
This copyrighted broadcast of Extreme eSpeed TV Network is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without express written consent of the Extreme eSpeed TV Network is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast.